What's up? Welcome into your Buckeye Rush Hour on a holiday, Labor Day weekend, Monday, September 4th, 2023. How's everybody doing out there? Oh boy, a lively show last night for those of you that caught it. A little interesting. Sean yelled for about an hour straight. Everybody disagreed with me. Nobody has perspective, but that's why we're fans, right? Fan is short for fanatic. Should just call everybody psychos because everybody's fucking crazy. But anyways, oh, Billy first in the chat. What's up? Good to see you, Billy. No, not concerned. Jeremiah Smith is going to visit a lot of games this fall. As long as Ryan Day and Brian Hartline are here next year, well, actually, before he enrolls in January, as long as they're still here in January, Jeremiah Smith will be a Buckeye. So not concerned, no. But yeah, talking a little recruiting today. How did our 2024 commits perform over the weekend? I also have some in-season visitors listed out game by game. Mostly it's 2025 guys. I'm not working on 2026s yet. That's way too far off in the future. But I'm focused on the 24s and the 25s. But yeah, just fucking microphone. Anyway, call in, folks. Don't be afraid to call in. I will be taking calls today. Hopefully, well, I don't think Jeff or Sean are going to call in today. I think they got their fill last night. 90 minutes of yelling. Ugh. Yeah, I know. What else? Yeah, that's about it. So let me get into the topic, and you guys can pop in with your questions and comments, and we'll do it. Okay, here we go. Future Buckeyes this week. So let's talk in-season visitors to start it off. For the Youngstown State game next weekend, we got 2024 Florida wide receiver, 5-star, best player in the country, who was just at Florida State, Jeremiah Smith. So, like I said, he's making a lot of in-game visits. Surprised he chose Youngstown State. Maybe it was just worked with his schedule. Oh, I got a cocktail today. I thought I did some actual work today, so I figured I earned an early cocktail. So you're welcome. This is not only the Buckeye Rush Hour, it's also the Buckeye Happy Hour. A little vodka and sour mix. A little extra vodka. Anyway, back to the list. Youngstown State also bringing in 2024 Ohio offensive lineman Mark Nave from Toledo. Then we got 2025 Ohio State commit Tavian St. Clair, the QB from Bellefontaine, coming in. Western Kentucky, we just have two guys scheduled there. Tavian St. Clair. Basically, you can pencil in Tavian St. Clair every week. He's coming in for virtually every game this year in the shoe. So he's back for Western Kentucky. Then you got 2025 Connecticut safety Ethan Long for the Maryland game. That'll be October 7th. You got 2024. Well, he's from IMG. Washington, D.C. tackle Jordan Seaton. That's an official visit. Counting that. 2025 Ohio quarterbacks Tavian St. Clair again. 2025 Indiana defensive back Mark Zachary. All right, coming in for the Penn State game. That is October 21st. You got a bunch of receivers. This is a South Florida contingent here. This will be interesting. This Penn State game, man. So you got a bunch of 2024 guys. 3 from Florida. Chance Robinson, current Miami commit, but is flirting with Brian Hartline. Jeremiah Smith coming back for the Penn State game. And Josiah Trader, wide receiver is how they have him listed, but I think he's if he's coming, I think it's as a defensive back. We'll see. And then 2024 Illinois defensive end, you might have heard of him, Marquise Lightfoot, currently committed to Miami as well. So how does Miami look by October 21st? We'll tell you how these visits will go probably. So, and don't forget, we usually get 4 to 5 in-season commitments. So by December, the early signing period, we should get 4 to 5 guys. Hopefully they're DNs, right, Billy? I got you. All right. And still, this is a huge recruiting weekend. Still on the Penn State game, Tavian St. Clair, 25, Florida wide receiver, Nashawn Montgomery, 2025 California linebacker, Noah McHale, 25 Georgia DB, Devin Williams, 25 Maryland DB, Blake Woodby, 25 Texas DB, Devin Sanchez, number 1 corner in the class, had camped on with Tim Walton over the summer. Mr. Sanchez, feel free to hit me up in the comments anytime if you want to come on the show. Michigan State game, that is November 11th. We have Tavian St. Clair again. Then 25 Ohio wide receiver Preston Bowman. And then 25 Virginia athlete Terrence Edwards. And then for the Minnesota game, Tavian St. Clair is the only one that really wants to come to Columbus in November. So that's November 18th, week before the Team Up North game. So that's what we got. As far as visitors go, let's talk about this past weekend in the high school ranks. Starting with the quarterbacks, Langston Hughes quarterback Aaron Nolan lost his first game since his sophomore year this past weekend. They lost 30-27 on Saturday against Butler High School out of Matthews, North Carolina. He had an up and down performance, 16 of 28, 196 and 2 touchdowns, but 3 picks. So not a great day. 25 4-star Bell Fountain quarterback Tavian St. Clair, said his name a lot, gets in the win column this week, 45-14 over Pataskala. I hope I'm saying that right. Licking Heights, licking cats. Anyway, he had 2 touchdown passes in the win. Running backs, 4-star running back James Peoples. How you doing, James? He's from San Antonio Veterans Memorial. They beat San Antonio Taft 49-17. I don't have any stats on him. He was dealing with an injury the first 2 weeks of the season, so I don't know if that's still lingering or if he even played. I'm not getting any information on that. Then you got Fort Lauderdale, St. Thomas Aquinas 4-star running back Jordan Lyle ran for a touchdown and 49-0 win over Fort Myers. 3-star Pick North running back Sam Williams Dixon ran for a touchdown and the win 28-8 over Upper Arlington. Wide receivers, 5-star Hollywood Shamadamadan Prep wide receiver Jeremiah Smith, the 5-star. They go to 2-0 on the season. They won 41-4. 2 safeties? What the hell? How are you taking 2 safeties? Anyway, they beat Fort Lauderdale. Cardinal Gibbons, future Buckeye. Jeremiah Smith had a touchdown, 93 yards on 8 catches. To the Midwest, Indiana, New Haven High School, 5-star wide receiver Mylan Graham, the other 5-star, continues another impressive win, 48-28 over Waterloo. Graham had 123 receiving yards and a touchdown on 9 catches. Some serious production out of these receivers. Then you got from St. Louis Christian Brothers College, 4-star wide receiver Jeremiah McClellan. They lost 45-31 at Bryant, Arkansas. He had 1 touchdown in the loss. 2026 4-star wide receiver from Cincinnati Withrow, Chris Henry Jr. defeated Lima Senior 42-6. Don't have stats on him. Tight ends, Max LeBlanc, the 4-star out of Chattanooga Baylor School, hauled in 2 touchdown catches and 51-21 win over White Plains, New York. Archbishop Stepanek, he's been putting up some numbers lately. Then you got 4-star Cleveland tight end Demarion Witten, lost their first game against Avon. I don't have numbers on him, but they lost 24-16 against Avon. Like the makeup company? Anyway, O-line, you got 4-star tackle from New Palestine, Indiana, Ian Moore. They won their first game of the season, 30-22. They combined for their offense accumulated 333 total yards. Then the Twins, the Armstrong Twins, go to 3-0. They went 42-14 over Maryland's Upper Marlboro Rock Creek Christian, continuing their dominance over the state of Maryland is St. Ed's. Then you got 3-star Toledo Central Catholic O-lineman Mark Nave. They won 42-21 over Novi Michigan Catholic Central. Ohio beating Michigan once again. Let's switch it over to the defensive side of the ball. We got the 5-star D tackle Justin Scott from Chicago St. Ignatius. They lost 27-17 versus Oak Park Fenwick. Then 5-star defensive lineman Eddrick Houston. They defeated Kennesaw and North Cobb 45-28. Houston had 5 tackles, 1 TFL, a quarterback hurry, and a blocked field goal. He gets those blocked field goals. If you go back a couple of weeks, he had one against who was that? Good Counsel, or no, that was St. Francis out of Maryland. Anyway, linebackers, 4-star Big Walnut linebacker, not Little Walnut. Garrett Stover, they won their first game of the season, 48-14 over Franklin. Down to Texas, 4-star linebacker Peyton Pierce from Lovejoy, Lucas, Texas. They defeated Argyle, the Sweater, 42-14 Friday night. They held Argyle under 200 yards. I don't understand how they can play in those sweaters. Secondary, we got in-state corner Aaron Scott, 4-star, and Bryce West. They both lost this weekend. Scott of Springfield, they suffered a 21-20 loss to Trotwood Madison, and West lost 24-16, like I mentioned earlier, to Avon. Makeup counter. Going out west, 4-star Chandler, Arizona, Basha High School corner Miles Lockhart. They lost 22-21 against Gilbert Highland. And finishing up here, we got 4-star safety from Seton Hall Prep in Jersey, Jaylen McClain. They lost 33-20 against Sparta. We are Sparta. No, Pope John the 23rd. But McClain had 8 tackles in the loss, so not his fault. So that's your rundown. Let me check on the chat, see what's happening. Billy, are you all alone? I hope somebody's joined you. Oh, yeah, we got Temper. What's up? Temper, yeah, it was a little contentious last night. Thanks for noticing. Billy asks, how does a bourbon man drink vodka? Very slowly, Billy, like this. There you go. Odysseus. As long as Heartline stays and offense improves, I'm not worried about Smith. Yeah, if those both I expect to happen, then yeah, I'm with you. Temper Nolan will be the QB for Smith, right? Billy, I hate to root for Jimbo, but I will be this week. Yeah, I understand that. I hate to root for A&M, period, but much less Jimbo. Steven says, I'm calm today, Joe. Well, that's a relief, Steven. Hopefully you slept well after that just mayhem last night. Jeez. Billy says 3 INTs for air is concerning. Yeah, I agree. Temper agrees. Yeah, what's up, DK Cooks? How you doing? Good to see you. He says, yeah, Cleveland lost to Avon, SMH. So I was thinking, SMH, exactly. Shake my hand. I can't believe that Glenville lost to. I don't know much about this. The best, who's good, who's bad in Ohio anymore. I mean, I can look at national rankings, obviously, but I know Glenville, usually is better than Avon. But yeah. So what else is on your mind this lovely Monday? Hopefully everybody's enjoying a day off. Yeah, Odysseus says have to root for Nick Satan this week too. Mm-hmm. Satan. We should have the church lady call games. That would get annoying after about 10 minutes. Who you got in the Clemson Duke game tonight? Clemson's favored by 12, over under 54.5. Duke or Clemson? Clemson or Duke? Jeremiah, always with me. Jeremiah, it's like we're cut from the same cloth. He said after the show last night, there are really some fans jumping off the bandwagon already. Those fans need to RELAX. My thoughts exactly, Jeremiah. Game one. I mean, we can continue this quarterback discussion into. We can go all week. I can go all night. But yeah, things will get better. All right. It's game one. Ryan Day is historically very conservative game one. He wants to know what he has, especially in his offense. Defense, he's very happy with, obviously. We all are, should be anyways. Yeah, we didn't get any sacks or turnovers, or we only got 2 sacks. One, I think they called a TFL for McKenzie. That should have been a sack. But then I know we didn't get any turnovers, but hey, you held the other team to under 150 yards total offense. And they came out running a freaking triple option, you know. I'm not sure that the Buckeyes were prepared for that. They played like they were prepared for it. Did not cause them any concerns, but we'll see. Billy says, as long as Ewers is QB, we should be just fine. For Ohio State, Ewers is coming back? Oh. What if that happened? Steven says, is there a reason Jaden Ballard isn't playing? That's all I heard in the offseason. That's a good question. I've heard a lot of hype, a lot of questions. He came in with Emeka and Marv in that same class, the 21 class. So I don't know what's going on with him there. I should have checked the snap counts. Actually, I think I have the snap counts here. Somebody take over. Somebody host the show while I'm looking this up. Just kidding. I can do that. Ballard had none. Oh, special teams only. No offensive snaps for Jaden Ballard. That is, I don't know what's going on there. I mean, it looks like Carnell Tate leapfrogged him. And who knows how long before another freshman leapfrogs Ballard, you know. Doesn't Duke have a real QB? I don't know about Duke's QBs, Billy. I think they have one. I'm not sure he's real. Odysseus says Fry needs to coach O-line, better communication and blocking, very fixable. Exactly, Odysseus. All these problems, I believe, are fixable. Kyle's got to work on, you know, his reads, maybe not checking the ball down so quickly, you know, take the shot play when it's there. We only had like four balls over 20 yards. And the one was a catch and run by Stover. I should have pulled up my chart, but yeah, everything was under 20 yards, mostly around 10 yards. So it's going to come with time. Kyle's got to get comfortable. The real question is, who starts this weekend? Does Devin start this weekend? I'm kind of thinking he does. I think Ryan Day feels bad for not getting him in real situations. And the one drive they gave him the 3 snaps and he handed off and got smacked in the backfield on the third down. So I think Ryan Day starts Devin Brown this week. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. He's got a press conference tomorrow, Tuesday morning. So I don't. Why would you? Temper says Philbin needs to coach the O-line. Why? You don't think Justin Fry is good enough coach? I mean, it's freaking one game, man. people want to fire the O-line coach, bench the quarterback. I surprisingly have not seen anybody call for Ryan Day's head yet, which I'm shocked. I thought those would have come by halftime on Saturday, but Steven says Knowles has to rotate the LBs, put Hicks in to have them fresh for the team up north. Yeah, he will. I think he will. CJ just had one snap on defense. I thought he played some special teams too. Could have swore I saw him in there on special teams. So I think he'll probably get some rotation in there. Billy says time to throw Fry under the bus already. Week 1. Gotta love it. Okay. Why are we throwing Fry under the bus? Is it because he's starting a left tackle that never played there before? Or is it because of the communication issues? And if you listen to today's Daily Blitz, I went through the PFF grades. The entire O-line sucked. The entire O-line sucked. Running, passing. Well, they were better again. Pass blocking, much better. But everybody, I'm talking Donovan Jackson, who you thought was a pillar, a reliable pillar of that O-line. Matt Jones, another reliable pillar, 5th-year guy. He sucked in the run game. So Fryer was the only one that was decent, if I remember right. So why are we going to fry Fryer? Fry. Okay. Billy says he's kidding. I don't think Temper was, though. Jeremiah says, right, Joe, YSU is in for a rude awakening. We need to run all over them, not just Chip and Mayan. Trey needs to get back on track along with the offense, getting TDs and the points these next 2 weeks. Yes, I think you're going to see a heavy dose of the running game, but the pass game will be mixed in. But I want to know what you guys think. Who's starting at quarterback for the Buckeyes this week? Yep, Temper says he was not kidding. So what do you guys think? Kyle or Devin, who starts the game? What if they flip it? Like, you know how Kyle got all the possessions except for 2? What if they flip that and Devin gets all the possessions except for 2 of them? What do you think of that? Steven says, how about get rid of Parker Fleming? I'm all on board with that one. Yeah, you're speaking to my heart, Steven. Why is WR2 returning punts with all the young talent we have? Hey, I'm with you. Honestly, you got a handful of guys you could put back there to return kicks. Yeah, they just need reps. Yeah. Right. The same as JSN. JSN, great receiver. Not a very electric punt returner, right? I mean, I think we can all agree. I mean, I understand. See, Ryan Day has these conservative issues sometimes, and I don't mean politically. I mean, he's conservative with like change of possession, like punts and kicks. You know, he wants to use his sure-handed veteran guys to return those punts because he wants to secure the possession and not risk the fumble. But at some point, it's like, do something, you know. Just getting 5 to 10 yards when just a slightly faster guy could get you 20, maybe break one occasionally. I think it's not that big a risk, you know. Odysseus says kick return and punt returns were terrible. Yeah, they were. The kick coverage was bad. When your kicker and your punter are both making tackles, that's some issues. Also, we had issues with guys on special teams wearing the same number. That's a Parker Fleming problem. Billy asks if we hire Laurinaitis and get rid of Fleming, who coaches special teams. I think you could probably divvy it up between a couple coaches, a couple position coaches could handle that. Give it to Laurinaitis. I'm sure he could handle part of that. And maybe Hartline. Hartline's not calling plays. Those guys could double team it. Mellow number 7, IO. Good, sir. Odysseus says Fielding and Mirko had to make tackles. Yeah, I know. That's my point, man. Yeah, Temper says our special teams have sucked for years. Yeah, they've been less than impressive. I'd say the punt game has been well above average. Punt game has been good for a long time. Now, covering the punts gets a little dicey. Kickoffs, I like. Hey, man, Fielding, I think he kicked a lot of them deep. I know we did have a couple returnables, but I like Fielding. And Indiana, that Lucas kid was a good returner. So I'm not saying Indiana is a good special teams team, but that kid was pretty freaking fast. Steven says Denzel was a bright spot. He looked solid. Oh, yeah. 2 pass breakups. Yeah, you're not completing shit against Denzel Burke, man. I'm all on the Denzel Burke hype train this year. Jeremiah says, is it automatic to defer to the second half by winning the coin flip? Start by getting into the end zone before half and after getting the second half kick. Yeah, I think that's what most coaches do. It depends on how hyper aggressive they are. Ryan Day's not super hyper aggressive like that. I can't think of a team off the top of my head that always takes the ball first, but I'm sure there's some out there. Odysseus says Lucas might be faster than anyone on Notre Dame. You're right, Odysseus. I think he's faster than anybody on Notre Dame. Exactly. Billy says, my only concern about D is that our starting D line never got home for a sack. But the D line, they helped blow up those option plays, man. There was only like 21 pass attempts by Indiana. Not saying that we shouldn't get at least 1 or 2. I mean, we got 2. They called the one for Jaylen McKenzie. They gave that a TFL for some reason. Maybe the quarterback started to run and they gave him a tackle for loss. But then Hero Canoe got a sack. So we got in there. I mean, D-line helped string out that option play to the sideline, and then Sonny would come over the top or Proctor would come around the edge and finish it off. So D-line did well, but again, limited action as far as the pass rush goes. I really like the Rushman package with Caden Curry and Mike Hall in the D tackles positions, Jack and JT on the outside. That I like Caden Curry, man. That dude plays with like some serious energy. He's got a good motor. Yeah. He's my hero, Billy. Billy says, who would have guessed Canoe would got our first official sack? Sack lunch. No. So I'm not getting any responses. Who's the quarterback for the Youngstown State game? Kyle or Devin? Who starts? Who do you want to start? Is that the better question? Well, Steven says Caden should start at D-line, D-tackle. He's a DN typically, but Billy says Devin should start. Odysseus says Brown. What can Brown do for you? That's the question. So we got 2 votes for Devin Brown. Anybody voting for Kyle? Or did we had Kyle? I want to try something else. And Mellow number 7 says 33. So you want Jack Sawyer to play quarterback, huh, Mello? That's where you run the triple option with Sawyer at quarterback. How about that? Yeah, Temper, I know, no turnovers for the D. I'll take good, solid defense, shutting down a triple option any day of the week over turnovers. Kept them out of the end zone. Should have had a shutout. That's what I was banking on. It was a good shutout. I miss shutouts. Could get this one this week. Steven says, is Lincoln redshirting? I'd say 100% yes. Lincoln Kindholz, barring injury to Kyle or Devin, Lincoln is redshirting. And even if one of those guys gets hurt, Lincoln's not ready to play college football. Jebbia would go in as a third quarterback. Billy says, it would be a good start for Brown against a team that is not likely to challenge our O-line that much. Yep. Temper says Kindholz. Jesus. Jeremiah says, when was the last time Ohio State posted a shutout win? They came close Saturday. They may get one this week. Start Devin Brown. Wow. 0 votes for Kyle. I feel like I'm alone on an island somewhere. I kind of am, but there's people around. Plus, I have you guys to keep me company. And a nice Labor Day cocktail. Nobody's voting for Kyle, huh? None starts for Kyle this week. That's crazy. Are you guys trying to get in Sean's good graces? He doesn't care. He just likes to argue. Sean just likes arguing, man. Somebody posted a comment on last night's show, then he deleted it. Somebody posted a comment. I don't know who it was. The comment was, Sean must be awesome at parties or something like that. He was being sarcastic. He said, Sean must be great at parties. He said, can I have something about, can I have what is a dick for 200, Alex? Like a Jeopardy question answer thing. I don't know what he was trying to say. It sounded like he was trying to say Sean was being a dick. And so, but then he deleted it. So I was like, you got to leave that shit. Next time I'm going to take a screenshot so I can send it to Sean. This is what your fans think of you. He was all hyped up, wasn't he? He's got to lay off the hard drugs or something. I don't know. But so I have no votes for Kyle, huh? Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Well, I'm going to go ahead and cut you guys loose, and I'm going to finish this here cocktail. Maybe I'll go outside, see what's happening out there. It's a nice day today. Hope you guys are having a good one. Hope the weather is good. Oh, here's a good question. Steven comes in at the 11th hour. Is McCord passionate? Kid seems too laid back to be QB1. Want to see that fire in his belly. He would have to take off his jersey so you could see that fire in his belly, Steven. I don't know if we want that on the field. But no, yeah. I've seen some of his passion. Mellow number 7 says I'm over KMC. I think McCord has that passion. We saw it in a scrimmage. He scored a winning touchdown and he whipped the ball into the ceiling of the indoor facility. Good point, Billy. He says you can't measure fire in the belly by how one is in front of a camera. Excellent point. Temper says, I like Kyle. All right. It's me and Temper, you want Kind holes to play. You psycho. I think Kyle has all the attributes you want to be a starting quarterback at Ohio State. I have faith that he can do it. He's been developed for 3 years. This is his first game since his freshman year, man. And that was against Akron. So it doesn't really count. It was 2 years ago. So again, it's week 1. I get you, Steven. I understand you're not questioning Kyle's play, just the passion. Jeremiah, can I change my vote to McCord? I'll be right there with you, Joe. See, changing hearts and minds. That's what we do here on this show. Jeremiah, that check is in the mail. Thank you. Billy says, I like Kyle too. Just think they should start Brown against an FCS school. But what do you learn? That's my question. I mean, if looking at it analytically or from a coaching point of view, what do you learn by letting this guy go beat up on a high school team? You know, what if he looks amazing too? Like he goes 30 for 40, 350 yards, 5 touchdowns passing, you know, maybe he runs 1 and 2 on a QB draw, whatever. What does that tell you? Indiana had a couple of good guys on defense, a couple, not the entire defense. I'm not saying that. Youngstown State does not have an NFL player on their team, especially on defense. So what does that tell you? I don't know. I don't think it tells you anything. Odysseus says, I feel Day screwed up not letting Kyle play the offense in blowouts last year. Yeah, I think Day has mismanaged blowouts throughout his career, especially the last couple of years. Yeah, Billy, I get you with the experience factor for Devin Brown. Get him in there against YSU, and you could say, quote unquote, real bullets flying. Again, how deadly are those bullets? I mean, seems like they're just rubber bullets, maybe. But I understand your point. Going against in a real game with real people trying to take his head off. I get it. I'm not saying that Devin shouldn't start or shouldn't play. I think Ryan Day fucked up last week by making this claim that Devin was going to play meaningful snaps, and it didn't happen. And he said he had it all planned out. He was going to go in the 3rd series. Then he was going to go in the 5th or the 6th series. It didn't fucking happen. And now we're left wondering, well, why is that? You know, I know it was a 1-score game, so you didn't want to put him in the 3rd series, but still, it's not like we were going to freaking lose. I mean, I don't know how he was afraid. Well, if Day was afraid to lose or something, I don't get that. I don't agree with that. But yes, going back to last year, definitely Kyle should have been running the offense in blowouts. Yeah. Who cares if you fucking score an extra touchdown on some garbage team? Too bad. You know, it's fucking football. If you don't want teams to score, stop them. I don't care if it's Ohio State, Bama, Georgia. I mean, see Oregon, they put up like 80 points the other day. They don't give a shit. It's fucking football. Score, score, score. You know? I don't agree with Ryan Day's conservative play calling. We see it way too often. I thought he learned his lesson in that Georgia game. To be aggressive, let it all hang out, all that shit. And we come out against Indiana and we're just throwing 10-yard passes. You know, running the shit out of the ball. O-line's not stopping a fucking nosebleed. Yeah. I think, honestly, when it's all said and done, once we get past these first 3 weeks, I think Kyle's going to be the starter against Notre Dame. I think because what Ryan Day showed us in this first game is that he trusts Kyle McCord. When it was 10-3, a one-score game, McCord was in there, and he didn't come out until they built a little bit of a lead. That tells me that he trusts Kyle, right? So maybe Devin doesn't take great care of the ball in practice or something, I don't know. But there's a reason why he trusts Kyle. Could be the extra year of experience in the system being developed, So I think Kyle starts against Notre Dame. Hey guys, while you're here, and since it's Labor Day, could you hit the like button for me? I'd really appreciate that. I'm sure all you guys are subscribed. You're the loyal OGs, the TBC OGs. That's what I'm going to start calling you guys. Jeremiah, Temper, Billy, of course, Steven, Mello, Jeremiah, I mentioned Odysseus, of course. You're a TBC OG. Hopefully you guys will get that tattooed on your arm or something. That'd be cool. Steven, obviously, Steven Cherry. He's an OG, TBC OG. I mentioned Temper. Yeah. Yeah, Temper. He did look good against Akron, but Indiana's, Power 5 team, Big Ten team. I thought Ryan Day made a good point in his press conference after the game where he said that Tom Allen, Indiana's head coach, did a hell of a job bringing in 20 plus new transfers and getting them to play together, in what, 8-9 months, if they came in January. Some of them probably came in later than that. Man, that's some good freaking coaching. Probably that Matt Guerrieri guy, the former Knowles assistant. That's right, Jeremiah. Get the football in the hands of the playmakers and we win going away. And then make sure those other guys are blocking up front. Yeah, I'm with you, Billy. I do want to see Devin Brown play. I got no problem with that. I don't care who you play this week against Youngstown State, but I think you need to have by week 3 a decision made, because you need to give that quarterback, whoever it is, one game starting completely before the Notre Dame game. You can't go 3 weeks, 3 games, these first 3 games, shuffling quarterbacks and not making a final decision. At some point, you got to pick somebody, and they need to be ready to go against Notre Dame. That's going to be a fucking ball game, man. They're going to put up some points. Defense is going to be tested, especially the secondary. So, yeah, but the quarterback has to be decided. Has to. And I do want to see Devin Brown play too, Billy. I'm 100% with you there. And this is the perfect week. But you can't, I know I don't need to tell Ryan Day this, but Ryan, if you're listening, you can't make your quarterback decision on this Youngstown State game. You can't let one garbage game decide who the starter should be. Thank you for listening. Hit the like button, Ryan. Thank you. Oh, Billy, I'm going to screenshot that, and I'm going to be pulling that up on you. Billy says, I'll deny I said this later, but Notre Dame looks a lot better. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm glad you said it. But let's see them against a real team. They do look better than last year. Way to put a little caveat in there. Yeah, they're definitely better than last year, but let's see them play a real team here. So. All right, boys. I think I'm going to bounce. I appreciate you guys popping in. Hey, don't forget to hit the like button. Really appreciate it. We're trying to continue to grow this channel. We're getting more subscribers every day. We're almost to 2,500. So still trying to get to 3K. I think we'll get to 3K during this football season without a problem. So we're continually gaining new subscribers every day. So, and hey, if anybody talks to Ray, tell him to contact me. I put a comment out there to him, but I owe him a t-shirt. Oh, I forgot to mention this, guys, before we go. If you guys put in a score for the Youngstown State game last night in the chat, please put that in again, because sorry, comments are just distracting. Please put your score in the chat again for the Youngstown State game, or in the comments for this video. We lost the chat from last night, probably better off. So if you put in a score for the Youngstown State game, please re-enter it into this chat or into the comments. I'll try and remind you guys throughout this week to give me your scores for that, so you can enter the t-shirt contest. There you go, Odysseus, 63-0. You have a lot of faith in Devin Brown or Lincoln Kineholes. So thank you. Yeah, drop your scores in again. I apologize. The chat got messed up from last night, so I didn't get a chance to copy it down. So please enter the t-shirt contest. Billy, 52-0. There you go, Jeremiah. I think this is when we're going to have the next shutout. Looks like it's going to be against the Penguins. So thanks a lot, guys. Hope you have a good rest of the holiday. You guys out on the West Coast, you still got 3 hours extra of the holiday remaining. So appreciate you guys. And we'll be back Wednesday, Friday with the live stuff. And I got PFF grades and stats tomorrow on the defense. I think you'll be impressed by that. Pretty good showing across the board. Jeremiah, 55-0. Love it. All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later, and go Bucks.